All right. Well, you guys, happy April 14th. I just had to look at my date stamp on my computer here. Is anybody else like, how is it the middle of April? I'm just, oh my goodness. And they say one of the signs that you're not depressed is that time goes very fast. And so there we go. Not a one of us is dealing with depression. At least I'm not. Like, slow it down. The Anyway, oh my goodness, what a start to April already. And I'm so excited to get to see those numbers for that. Oh, that's what I was doing. So something that I've been working on my core values. And that my business coach, Allison Mitchell, and I have been kind of crunching through those things that make you tick. Like, what are those things that are so important to you? And it's kind of like doing a personality test where you're like, I mean, I knew I was an extrovert. I didn't need a personality test to tell me that. But like reading things that extroverts have a hard time doing anything alone. So that's, don't look behind me. My office is a disaster because that's boring. Dana, come and help me clean it and we'll have a ball and it'll be really clean and organized. But to like, do you guys get what anyway? So I was doing this core values, and just community was one of my top three. And we boiled it down from like 30 core values, and community was one of mine. And really being a part of a community that is making a significant impact, not just any community, but a community that's making a significant impact. And y'all, that is what we are doing here. We are having a significant impact on the financial future of so many people. And it's not that finances are everything. One of my core values was not to be a millionaire. Finances was not my core value. It allows me to do a lot of other things. And I know that is true for so many of you, whether it's getting to spoil your grandkids with a trip to Disneyland, whether it's getting to support those nonprofits that you love, whether it's getting to take your best friend out for lunch and buy her a nice present. I mean, it's nice, right? We all get that. Anyway, so having that community and wanting to foster that, and I was just been brainstorming ways to do that with you guys, where we kind of, I mean, I was super honest. I sponsored in Premiere. I was a builder by my 5th month in Premiere. So in 5 months, I had a team of 4, which seemed like the express train to a lot of people. I have not been in Park Lane yet for 5 months. And my team is significantly bigger than 4. So the piece that we're losing is how we had this organic, we go to training together, then we go out to dinner together, we get to training early together, like we go to rally, we go to roundup. Obviously, those things haven't happened here. So trying to figure out ways that we can really create this community, because I think being a part of a community, especially when you're learning to do something out of your comfort zone, or you're learning to do something that you have to be disciplined about. So many of you know I'm a track coach, cross country coach. So the joke about track and cross country is our sport is your sport's punishment, right? So when you do something wrong in volleyball, what do? You got to run lines. What do I don't go run another lap. It doesn't work in track. So I do make them do push-ups when they do something bad. I don't just let them off the hook, but our sport is your sport's punishment. And so it's this, but why do these kids keep coming out? 54 kids on our track team, y'all. We let homeschool. I mean, it was this crazy. And because in community, you can do hard things. Like seeing other people succeed, seeing other people do the hard things, seeing Jill get kicked off of Facebook and then being called a gambler. I want to sing the gambler. And still, y'all, this is the baby unicorn. It's the baby unicorn. And I'll be a little honest. There was a little bit of me that was like, wait, you can buy it for 65 freaking dollars. But this unicorn here and what she represents, this will be in my collection forever. And every time I'm going to wear it, I'm going to remember that it was my peeps in this group that wouldn't let me throw in the towel. Because that happened on week 2, y'all. I was like, oh dear Lord, if this is what's going to be. Anyway, So long introduction to say, I really want to do things that are going to start fostering community among us. Namely, we are launching a team Facebook group. Yay! Okay, me and Karen, we're excited. Oh, Judy's excited. Okay. Belinda's still driving. Keep driving, Belinda. Okay. I think that's excited. So we're going to launch a team Facebook group. As silly as Facebook is, talk about a super highway to connection. I hope you all stalk your hostesses that you don't already know on Facebook, right? Like, and you're commenting on all her stuff, and then you've got stuff to talk about. Oh my goodness, your puppy is so cute. Yeah, he's so obnoxious right now. And to make connection with her, because we can't do it over the coffee table anymore. So, all right. The other thing that we wanted to start doing is sharing our stories, because there is something about stories that is so connecting, and knowing each one of you is way more than a stylist with Park Lane. Like on your resume, I'm gonna guess it's a minimum of one of 5 to 10 things that you are that you do. And so sharing those stories, figuring out how we're working this business in and around into the nooks and crannies, um, is we're going to do that. So the other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to start with recognition, because there is something super powerful about recognition. And we had, oh my goodness. So this month, there was a Rio earring with $1,500 in sales in the first 2 weeks of the month. Hats off to Dana Doherty and Dion Scott. Whoa! Dion works late on Wednesday night, so she can't ever be in here live. But you guys, way to set the bar, way to make it happen. Oh my goodness. Level 1 RRC. Dana Doherty, Dion Scott, Griselda Garza, Amanda Schuler. What? $1,000. Oh my gosh, you guys, that is so incredibly fantastic. Has anyone given away a set of mint impression earrings to an entire show yet? Dana, raise your hand. Raise your hand. Belinda, Lisa. Okay, Belinda, put your hand back on the wheel. Yay! I'm gonna milk that one for a while. If you are on and you did not, you don't want to be on camera, I get that. It's okay. We still love you. But you remember how to put up your little hand sign on your reactions? So we'll try it again. Evelyn with the thumbs up. So if you have a party with 10 orders, every single person's going to get the opportunity to get those mint impression earrings for $10. So Dana did it. Anybody else give away? I know Lisa, I'm going to make you put your hand up again. And Belinda's driving, so no hands there. How about, has anybody sold any new Sparkle boxes? Anybody had any new Sparkle box subscriptions? I got a new Sparkle box subscriber, but this sweetie, oh my goodness. And now we're training the girls in our VIP groups, right? They're starting to learn. They see something they like. What do they have to do? Get on it right now. Exactly. So these girls are getting trained, you guys. And so I had a gal, she was super, super excited to get this set as well. Well, lots of fantastic things have been going down on, we don't have a name yet. Oh, you guys. So Martha Failing sent in a bunch of names. Hats off to Martha. She is in bed with a bunch of back pain, y'all. She was thinking Sparkle Gals, or the Sparkle Gems, or Team Bling, or some names we have in the bucket. 4, but we will let that marinate. Oh, Karen.
I've got a few. I was working on it. I like acronyms. So play, Park Lane and you, and team play or play team or something using the word play. I did God's Got This Team, which is G2T2. And probably my favorite came from my husband, Fast Lane to Sparkle. Only because I tried, like, I don't know where the name Park Lane came from, but I tried to play off of the fact that of road, boulevard, travel, destination. And there's that wind right behind me. I don't know what that does to my microphone. So, but again, none of those have to be picked, but that was probably my favorite, was Fast Lane to Sparkle, or something along that. It's about the destination, or it's about the journey, not necessarily the destination.
I like, we're gonna let those marinate in here, and then we'll follow this up at the end. So I'm liking that too, Karen. Thank you for thinking about that. That is awesome. The well, so Dana Doherty. Well, I didn't. So Dana's already had a $3,500 April. Just gonna throw that out there. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
You she's already had a $3,500 April, and I asked her to figure out what her average show is, and Dana checked and rechecked. How many times did you recheck this, Dana?
I went back over it several times because I didn't believe it.
Her average show, $1,678. Yes. So we would like to take at least a moment. Inspire us, Dana. Oh my goodness, sister. You got the floor.
Well, thanks. And really what happened is I was talking with Lisa. So that's why you didn't get a big reaction out of Lisa, because she knew this already, because I'm like, here, you total it up and see what you come to too. But I discovered what my average show was. And so of course, Lisa said, what are you doing? And then she told Jill, and Jill's like, what are you doing? And I really didn't know exactly what I was doing. But so I had to really think about that. And here's a few things. And the first thing I want to tell you is I did start off this month with no bookings. Just so you know that I am the average person. Everybody has problems. At the very beginning, I had a lot of warm market and had plenty of shows. But booking from a virtual show is a lot harder to me. I do have some that booked for May, but I just didn't have any in April. And so when I don't have what I need, we're in transition right now and I need income. So I said, I have to do something about that. So I went on. I mean, what are you going to do when you don't have any? You start talking to other people to find out what they're doing. I went on social graphics, not social graphics, the stylist community, and looked up some different things until I could I texted a few people and that didn't work. So I had to come up with something else. So I am just like you, and you will never find me being, I'm really your average stylist. I will never be the top recruiter like Jill, or the top retailer like Carolyn Rollins Davis, or the top fashion person like Lisa Tallarico, or even a top vision person. And I'm not even cute and darling like Kristen Lofgren. So, and I work hard like Jennifer Keller, but somehow she just makes it look so much easier. So just realize that I am not going to be the top person. So whatever I'm telling you, if I can do it, you can do it. So I'm hoping that that encourages you, because if I can do any of this, so can you. So I'm going to give you a few tips. I need somebody who takes notes fast. Who takes notes fast? It's usually Margaret Kelly who answers me, but she's, I don't see her on. So somebody tell me that you're going to help take notes, because Jill told me this today. And so my notes are all over the place. It'd be great to have them written down. Thank you, Karen. You usually—
I'll do my best.
I understand that. But if you just put it in the chat, nobody sees the chat once it's recorded. So if you can take notes, and then we'll stick them in the Sparkle group, because my notes are kind of written all over the place. But anyway, I'm just your average consistent person. So if you kind of follow what Park Lane tells you, hey, you can get this unicorn bracelet. Hey, you can get these earrings. Hey, you can get, and you watch for that and work for it, you're going to be consistent too. So here's a few things. The main thing I wanted to tell you is Hostess Coaching is always going to be your key, regardless of who the hostess is, even if it's yourself. There's certain things that you are going to need to give her the verbiage. You need to give it to her. written out, and then let her and tell her to put her personality in it. If you're not giving her the verbiage, she's not sending it out. So one of the things that I do with the invitations is I don't let her go in to the group. So I don't even make the group. I talk to her about it first, and I like a phone call and just say, here is the verbiage. And what I want you to do is start texting people or messaging them and simply asking, and y'all, all that verbiage is on the Trello board. It's been posted a million times. I will copy and paste it, but I just got the same stuff from Jennifer and Carolyn. So I just add my little personality to it. But basically it just says, here's the verbiage. You know, nobody likes to be added to a group. So your best bet is, and everybody ignores notifications. Okay. So nobody likes to be added, and everybody ignores those notifications for a group. So what you want to do is personally invite them and ask them if they want to be included. That's how you're going to get the most participation. And when they respond, yes, I'll send you a text tomorrow to tell you what to say when they respond, yes. So start sending those out. I also tell her, look, my goal is to get you 10 orders. Okay. And so in order to get 10 orders, you're going to have 15 people on that live. In order to get 15 people on that live, you're going to have about 40 people in your group, because usually about 25 to 30% are actually going to be able to participate that night. Now, there are some that are going to watch later, but we want to have at least 40 people from different groups. So you need to be sending this out to about between 30 and 50 people. And y'all haven't had anybody tell me no. They just are like, they're going for it. So they send this out to people and wait for the response. So the next day, my text is, as they say yes, I want you to send, I've made the group, here's the group, I've invited you. As they say yes, I literally want you to copy this group. And y'all, if you go up to the very top of the group and you click on, it's the 3 little dots, depending on what you're on, or it's like a little shield, it looks like, but you click on that and there'll be a button that says share, and you simply hit share, and you can text it, you can message it, you can send it anywhere you want. And it basically sends that group to them. And then all they have to do, so if the hostess was sending it to you, Karen, you would just simply click on the link and it'll say join, and you click on that join. So they don't have to go find it. They don't have to wait for a notification. They can simply just click join. And I get a whole lot more people. They get in quicker, and it gives the hostess confidence to text more people. And that's what we want, because she'll only probably text 10 to 15 the first day and see how people respond. Well, once she starts getting those yeses and those people getting in, and I will compliment her and say, gosh, you already got 15, or you already got 10. Let's keep going. We can get to 30. And when we get to 30, we can get to 40. So it's a lot of little individual coaching with that hostess all along. I always make my group public. Anybody can give me a good reason to make it private. I have not found one good reason. I know that they have told us make it private, make it private. I can't figure out why. I mean, if more people want to watch and join in, hey, that's more people that might want to buy Park Lane or become a Park Lane stylist. And if there's somebody that wants to come in with ugliness, I haven't had that happen, but hey, maybe they want to be a stylist too. Who knows? That's really funny. I'm just trying to be funny. But anyway, I always make my group public. That way it's easy to share and other people can see it and join in. They can simply then go up to the top and hit invite. So if they can't get 30 people from those invitations, yes, go in and hit invite. Make sure they don't hit more than 10 to 15 at a time, because it will kick them out, put them in Facebook jail. So same thing with Messenger, copy and pasting more than 10 or 15 at one time, and Messenger will put you in Messenger jail, and then you can't get back in it. So just so y'all know that. Okay, so now I'm ready to do the live. I do post, I I don't do send share yet because I can't figure it out. So I don't have the time to pay attention to it. It's not that it's hard and not that I'm technically challenged, but not that much. I just haven't had the time to look at it. So I just go back to my last one, copy and paste and schedule them all. If you don't know how to schedule, ask your upline because it's really easy. And I schedule them all at one time, so they'll just come up as they need to. Okay, so now it's time to do the live lights. Make sure you have a light. I like the 18-inch light. This light is much smaller. I think it's 8 inches, which is great for like Zoom or one of those things, but it is not really good for your live because it's not enough light and you'll end up with yellow. Now, look at Jill's picture. You see the yellow light behind her? She doesn't do her lives right there. So, but the yellow light behind her is not good for showing jewelry and it doesn't make her look that great. Look at Judy's. You can see that Judy, what kind of light do you have on yours right now? Is it a lamp? Yes. So you see how the strong light comes out versus having a ring light facing you. It makes a difference in how you look, okay? And how the jewelry shows up. So Belinda did, her son bought her an 18-inch light, but she had a small one at first. It really does make a difference. So if you can make a good investment while we're doing virtual shows, they can run about $79 to $100. That's the best thing. Look at Judy's picture. She's got a ring light. You see the difference? It really does make a difference. Okay. I believe in showing the jewelry. If you're just holding it in your hand, yes, it changes the light so that it can be seen. But y'all, jewelry is meant to be on. Jewelry is meant, put it on you. If it takes too much time to put it on and off you, put it on a mannequin, but that takes too much time. Put it on neck stands. I love the busts, but if you don't have the busts, because that kind of mimics a real neck, if you don't have the busts, then utilize just your neck stands, but show it on clothes. Show it on a neck stand, show it on something. Holding it in your hand is going to send the colors going crazy. So that's just my suggestion and stand up to do your show rather than sit down. It's much more professional. It changes your posture, it changes the way you come across, and it changes the way to see you. So doing a live is fine. I mean, doing a Zoom is fine sitting, but when you do a live, you need to be standing. Also, I take just a notebook. I don't have any blank pages right now because I've been writing on it, but just a regular notebook. And I already have this done, just a legal notebook. And I actually put half price and free. I write that at the top. I mean, full price and half price. And then at the bottom, I have a line drawn and I write Zinger towards the bottom and I write name at the top. And so when I start talking about wish list, I show them that this is how you want your paper to be divided: full price and half price and Zinger, and put your name at the top and you'll be glad you did. I also tell them the number of things that they need to be putting on their list. By the time we're done with this, you should have at least 10 things on your list. And then I tell them to just star 5. Otherwise, they just put down 1 or 2 things. I tell them you should probably have 2 things, at least 2 in your full price, at least 2 or 3, 4 in your half price, and at least a couple in your Zinger. Okay. So when they send me a picture of that wish list, they have Zig Ziglar says, set your expectations before they come up. So set the expectation at the beginning for what you want them to send you. I do show lots of jewelry. Yes, I start with cart starters, but I have to grab something so I can show y'all what I'm talking about. Hold on 1 second. I brought it over here and then I didn't bring it close enough. Please don't leave me. I knew I'd forget it. Okay. I took something like this and put all my stud earrings because I want to touch these really fast. and point to them, and I'll bring them up close. And of course, it looks much better on a iPhone or iPad than it does on a computer Zoom. But I will touch certain ones, talk about it, and it's moved, it's gone, because those are the $20 items, and I don't want them I want in there full price stuff. I want some $40 items in there. So I'm going to spend a whole lot more time on and some of your $30 earrings. I also bought stuff like this that I bought it. It was in my garage. They're little tea stands so that they can see about how long, because I don't want to take the time to put every single one of them on, but by holding them up, it gives them a really good idea of length and size. And I do use my hand behind it, but it's quick and it's fast. So I do tell them lots of times, put those in your half price cart, put those in your full price cart. Or when I'm showing some of my $50 items, y'all, that's just $25. Put that in your half price cart. I mean, who wouldn't want that for $25? And so that's the ones I'm going to spend my time on, is those items that you would think would go in their half price area, and they're going to fill that up. And then I'm going to use one of them for the full price. Usually they'll only have one or two in the full price. So do you see, it's kind of like, where do I want, yes, I want to talk about some cart starters, but I want them fast and easy, because the majority of the people are going to want those half price pieces, and they're willing to put one at full price to get the half price. Does that make sense? I also show dainty necklaces on something that looks like this. You see the little notches? So I can talk about them really quickly because they're set up for me. It also shows layering. I have one for gold and one for silver. I do a lot on my busts that I have here. My rings are on a ring holder. So think about what you have so that you can show them really quickly, rather than having to show them one by one. I also have, I'm trying to reach it. I took a little bar like this from a stand that I used to have. You could just pull the top off of a bracelet bar if you want to. And I'm able to just leave them on here and talk about them because I can't get arm parties on fast enough. So to show a lot of jewelry really quickly, you need some extra things. So as your finances permits, this is the one that gets the biggest oohs and ahs. It's just one of those that's supposed to hold little necklaces. And I talk about my collection of impression bracelets. And I tell them, you know, you're jelly. You all want some of these, right? You're jealous, but we call it jelly because you all really want these too. And then I'm able to talk about them, and they ooh and they ah over the impressions, but they're easily. When I first started, I just used a watch box, and it just had like maybe 3 of them in it. And I hooked it on the little part that's the little rubber band that's supposed to be holding the watch in place. And so there were 3 laying down in that watch. So if you don't have 8 now, just use a watch box, an old watch box that you have, and it'll show it off. I'm in the process of changing my earring cards to these little khaki colored ones. The Park Lane ones are pretty and they say Park Lane, but they send the light in all different directions. And so it's very hard to see. These canvas or a black, I do have some black ones too, but these just happen to be on sale at Michael's for $1. So you can buy, I think they're 25 in here for $1 at Michael's online. Look online. And I also bought a cart, which if you saw my live in the Say Yes to Key West, you saw the cart. If you haven't, it's time for you to go look at that. So I'm not even going to show you my cart because I want you to go look at that video. But the cart has one side that has a bunch of places for bracelets that I can just hook on. And so they're fast and easy for me to show. So my goal is in my setup, and this whole little cart has my busts and everything on it. And I roll it in and out of my bedroom because I don't have an office or a place to do my lives. They're set up in the middle of my living room, kitchen, breakfast room. That's all one room that I share with my daughter. And she really doesn't necessarily want me to leave that in there all the time. So I put it all back and roll it away. So you can have a very little space and do the same thing. But my goal is to show a lot of jewelry in a short amount of time. The other thing I want to do, and spend the time on the things that are going to make you the most money. All right. Yes, we want them utilizing the specials, but spend your time on the things that are going to make you the most money. They're not necessarily the zingers, because the zingers, they're all getting them for $25 and you don't make any money off of them. So I'm just going to show those, but I'm going to spend my time on that half price area, priced from about $45 to $78, $80. That's what I'm going to spend my time on, because they'll buy those $80 things at 40 bucks. Because it's half price. And I talk about that a lot. The other thing is I always create the need for the jewelry. All right. So how do you create the need for the jewelry? You share the fashion tip or the need first, and then you show the pieces. All right. So my show has been the 5 essentials. So Karen, write fast and I'll try to name these essentials. They're statement studs, hoops, pearls, dainty necklaces, layering, and who can help me with the 5th one? Anybody? They've been all over. What is, Karen, you're saying it?
Isn't it bold?
Statement.
Isn't it a bold necklace?
Statement necklaces. That's the 5th one. So I do tell them, people like to know, I'm an old teacher, so people like to know what you're going to talk about, then you talk about it, and then you wrap it up, what you just talked about. You summarize it. So I always tell them what I'm going to be doing today is teaching you how to be a very smart shopper, getting the most to update your wardrobe. I'm going to be sharing the 5 essentials, and I'm going to tell you how to get those 5 essentials that you need in your wardrobe at the best price possible. And then I go into statement studs. I then go into, it leads me to dainty necklaces. But the hoops and the last is going to be those bold statement necklaces that Karen mentioned just now. But the hoops and the pearls and the those things are kind of in the middle, and I just mix and talk about them. Remember I said hoops were very important, but it's modern hoops, and I will show some of those threaders that I can't think of the name, that come in black and gray and white, or I might show Del Rey, because it's a modern shape. That it's those kind of shapes. And then when I talk about the dainty necklaces, yes, dainty necklaces is in, but layering them. Don't just wear one by yourself unless you're just heading out to Target or you're going to work out. You need several of them. And let me show you how to do that. And if you don't know how, you don't want to worry about which ones to choose, go with Ariana, Alexa. Let me show you some that's already done for you. Okay, so do you see how I've led into the ones that are a little more expensive? The other thing I do is, let me give you a couple more of the fashion tips real quick. And I could talk for longer, Jill, so cut me off. But I'm going to share just a few fashion tips with you. The first thing I usually say is the first thing to really date a woman and make them look older is outdated accessories. And that includes jewelry. So just like you clean out your closet and you get rid of things that are no longer in fashion, you might have a whole jewelry box full of jewelry, but saying you don't need any jewelry is like saying you never need any more clothes or shoes. It is going to go out and it's going to make you look older quickly. My clientele tends to be closer to my age, maybe, 30 to 60 or 40 to 60. So they don't want to look old. The number one way to show that you are in the know is by wearing jewelry that is current and up to date and on trend. It's also the least expensive way. So let me give you some tips about what's on trend. So I'm sure you guys have done the same thing I've done, and you've listened to different people do shows and share different fashion tips. And yes, some of those are right on in you, and some of those we make up, and it's okay, because fashion is about your personality. Have y'all ever made up a fashion tip? Tell me, to make it work. Okay, if you haven't, it's time to make up something. And you never know if I've made it up or I haven't, because I can make it look like I haven't made it up. So do the same thing. If you're getting it from me, you'll never know if I made it up or not. And we all know how to look thinner, longer necklaces, statement necklaces. White in your ears or on your neck will draw the attention upward and bring brightness to your face, which makes you look more youthful. Wearing earrings that fall where your face is the thinnest makes you look more youthful. The modern pearls or the cool pearls like Brinley or what else is cool pearls right now? I'm looking at my jewelry, but something that in that clavicular notch, or wearing your décolletage is considered the sexy. Man thinks that's even sexier than cleavage. Okay, so you want to, it also ages the slowest. So this is where we want something to sit. So just think about that. And then I would show, so I would talk about the long necklaces and show long necklaces, talk about something that sits in that clavicular knot, show that, talk about something that sits in your, how it's the sexiest part of a woman, more sexy than cleavage. And I would show something that would sit there. Statement necklaces are outfit makers. Bracelets make you look thinner, draw attention to the thinnest part of your body. Successful people dress for other people. Jewelry is the number one thing we get compliments on. It's conversation starters. Nobody sees shoes and purses right now, but they see your jewelry with Zoom and everything else. And you know what? It doesn't matter if they see you on Zoom or not. Just put on some jewelry and run around and vacuum, and your serotonin levels will go up. Do you know that? Just wearing a little bit of sparkle, you see reflection how many times a day? That's not even counting Zoom. So add a little sparkle up close to your face, and it raises your serotonin levels. So then you can really vacuum well. So crystals next to your face brings light to your face. Turquoise makes you look more youthful and awake. And I sometimes talk about price comparisons to the real thing, and talk about how we're tired of washing our hands. So rings are the piece of jewelry for the year. And help you turn from a hot mess to heck yes. Okay, so those are some of your quick fashion tips. The last thing I'm going to tell you before we turn it over is, once you've done the live, you can hit, once you've posted it, if it's a public group, you can hit share, and you can share that with your hostess, and she can send that to all the people who were not on the live. And she can simply say, she can say, hey, I know you missed the live. Here it is, watch it, and send Dana your wish list so you can be in the drawing. I always tell them by 9 o'clock that night, and then I say, you know what, it's gotten late, so send me your wish list by tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Okay, so I always change it, and it gives them a little more time, and it gives the hostess some time to remind them. Make sure you tell them that wish list is not their order at all. It's just, it helps me decide what I need to show the next time. So just send me your wish list real quick, and then you can go look at the catalog I just posted. Send me your wish list. It doesn't mean you're buying that, and just then go look at the catalog, because they want to look through and put things on their list, and they can change whatever I send them in their cart. But if I don't get a wish list, I don't know who's interested. So send me a wish list that told me you were on the live and you were paying attention. And so I really want those. And there was something else Lisa told me I needed to tell them. Don't yawn, Lisa. You heard all this already. the last thing, make sure, and I put this in the messenger at some point in time, is that my job is not finished when I'm finished with the live. I'm continuing to coach my hostess and what she needs to send out and giving her the verbiage. For everybody that was on the live, she needs to send something about making their wish list. So everybody who wasn't on the live, she needs to send them the live. For everybody, and if I write the verbiage and send it to her, she'll do it. But if you don't write the verbiage and send it to her, she won't do it. Okay. And lastly, every time they send me a cart, it could just be 2 items in it. If it's just 2 items, I'm going to let them know that they have 4 things that they can get at half price. If they have several items in it, if it's an item that's not already a zinger, like it's not $142, but it's $90, I'm going to go ahead and put it at half price and then tell them that they have a zinger. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not going to say, hey, do you want me to put that one as a zinger? I'm going to let her put it in at half price. Half the time, they don't really understand the zinger. So you need to be communicating with them over and over again until you get the cart just exactly the way they want it, because they do not understand it. I don't care how many times you say it. All right. So communication with the hostess and the customers, and it takes me all the way up until the deadline that I give them, because I'm still changing carts and working with them, but it makes my retail really good. Right, Lisa? So one of the things I did, I'm done. There's more I can tell you, but I'm done for now. But I told you that I did not. I hope that gives y'all something. At least do like Evelyn and give me a heart if you liked it and you got something out of it. Okay.
That was good.
Thank you, dear. One of the things that I told you is I didn't have any bookings and I had to do something. So I went and I looked up a couple of different things that I could do. I know we talked about Blingo in one of these, but one of them was the earring messenger party. And I told Belinda and Lisa about it. I told my downline and Judy heard about it too, but Lisa and Belinda did it. So Lisa's going to tell you about it. And you can see Belinda's going crazy because she was so excited with her results. My results were, just by posting these pictures, were over $2,000. It was a $2,300 show. So Lisa is doing hers. She's in the midst of doing it right now. And Belinda just finished hers. So Lisa, go ahead. You tell them about Messenger, and they're tired of listening to me.
Okay, so my plan was to do it this past weekend, but we went camping and I had 0 service. So that didn't happen. Came back and decided I was putting my camper up for sale. So everybody blew up my phone. So I didn't get to do much on Monday, but I was like, oh my God, I have to have sales for this week. I have no sales. I don't have a show. So I said, I'm just going for it. You know, sometimes we wait too long for all the little bitty details and we're going to wait for everything to be just perfect instead of just jumping in and doing it. I just decided it was time to just jump in and go for it. I sent out probably 30 messages in Messenger and asked them if they wanted to be in the group, in the Facebook Messenger, in the free earring party. I got 16 people in. So far, 11 people have ordered. Only one person has ordered only 1 pair of earrings. Right now, my total is at $1,050, and this is since yesterday. So yeah, just since yesterday, I am just like, oh my gosh, I am blown away and I still have ones that I just sent messages to, but I'm like, look, I got to close out tonight and I want to draw the winnings by 9 o'clock. So you all have to get me in your orders if you're going to order. So I just have 5 people that I'm waiting to hear back from. But even, I mean, right now at 1,050, when I had 0, I'm very, very happy. Yeah, I mean, like I said, they all, and I, did the same thing. Most of them sent me an order of 2 earrings. Well, that was my go in and say, hey, well, guess what? Now you unlocked 4 half price items if you want to use those. So 90% of them use their 4 half price items and their zinger. Yeah. So I'm just totally thrilled with the earring messenger thing. did not expect that. And that's just since yesterday. So just imagine if you did it for a few more days. Dana did what, 3 or 4 days, Dana? So I'm sure I could have had probably a $2,000 one if I would have done it because there was like 3 or 4 people that just this morning answered, said, yes, put me in it. So they even had a late start in it.
Lisa, tell them how they got in. Like, why did they want to be in this earring messenger party?
Well, I said that they were going to get free earrings and that they were going to win free jewelry. So it's basically in a sense like a mystery hostess. So they're going to get the free jewelry. I'm going to divide that up and giving them free jewelry. And of course I've got 11 orders. So they're all getting the mint earrings. And a lot of them wanted the mint bracelet to match it. So they had to get the zinger. In order to get the zinger, they had to get that card up. So, because I have like at least 4 of them that wanted the mint bracelet.
And you did that basically through communication, right?
Through Facebook Messenger, and then sending the carts and that kind of stuff, and just through Facebook Messenger and text messages.
So no party group, Facebook Live, none of that.
Just
I can do this in my rural community.
That's right. You see, and all it is in your phone, your Facebook Messenger group, adding them all in a chat group, just like we have our Bling group and all. Adding them all in a chat group, posting the information and getting them to, just like you kind of would in a Facebook group, getting them to answer things. I put the drawing, Dana had a little drawing in there, like a few pairs of earrings, which one's your favorite, and you got to be in there. You have to comment to be in that particular drawing. So it's getting them on there, seeing the information, and I'm just, and then like you want to group, like when we first put the bunch of pictures of earrings, you want to group them in a group together so that their phone's not going off 1,000 times. Try to kind of keep that to a minimal. But even the postings, as far as that goes, was like all the earrings, and then like the specials, the golden guarantee, unconditional guarantee, and like just a couple other things. As far as graphics, even was very minimal.
So it is all like the nuts and bolts of how to do this. Did you get it from the stylist community, Dana, or the social graphics?
There is a video in stylist community done by somebody else. I also asked a couple of people, hey, can I be in your messenger group to see how it's done? And they said yes, but I will post the pictures that I used, because it's like 3 earrings to a picture. I'll post that. Lisa, you post the verbiage.
Okay.
I feel like we should do it in our new team Facebook group. What do you think?
When are you making that?
Is it created already?
Well, I could do it right after this. Let's make that.
That was good.
Huh?
I like.
Or put it in Team Sparkle. Then I'm not stressing about the first banner.
Put it a lot easier to do it in the Facebook group.
Yeah. Than the messenger thread.
Okay.
Then I'm not stressing about it.
Belinda,
You can always change the name of the Facebook group. You could just start one. Just give it a name and then change it later.
The banner, I mean, don't stress over the banner. That's
well, I know it's all good. I know. I'm overthinking this.
Yes.
Your name here. Belinda, did you have something to add to Lisa's?
Yes. I'm not driving, Jill. I'm home now.
Yay!
She got my hands on the steering wheel. Okay.
Good.
Dana did hers. And I think I sent something late Friday night because I was like, okay, this sounds good. I'm going to do this. But I didn't really, I think Saturday morning was when I actually created the group. So I did it Saturday and Sunday. And I did, like Dana said, I put 15 people. I invited 15 people, hoping that we get the 10. And so I did get 10. And I posted it in the messenger group, but it was, my retail was 1,107.
Woohoo!
And like Lisa say, I had a few people that I knew wasn't gonna do much, and they just did a pair of earrings or whatever, but I did do drawings, and I gave some stuff away, and they was like, oh my gosh, why are you doing that? I'm like, well, because I just got some free, so I'm gonna give some away. So I did give some away, but I also had another event that was open and I wasn't at 10. So those extra Lisas, I'm putting in that one there, and I'm about to close that one there out. And I think I don't know where it's at, but yeah, Jill, I should be real close. I'm gonna make sure I get to that 1,500 because I think I'll be at 1,500. Because my dashboard says 800. I was just looking at the dashboard says 800 something from the show that I submitted last night. So I'm gonna see where I'm at with this other one that I'm gonna close. But that's what I did with the extra people with the earrings. I just threw them in that other group so I could get up to 10 because I was almost there. But it was fun. It really was. It didn't require a lot of work, just commenting. They commented, put some people in there that that'll comment. And so they were like, oh my God, I love this jewelry, blah, blah, blah. And, so put you some feel good people in there to kind of feed the group. But yeah, it was fun.
It's super easy. In 3 days, it was done. And it's probably the easiest thing. And it was the most fun because the next day I went live to give away. I gave two $100 gift certificates. I gave six $50 certificates, I guess that you could call them, $50 in free jewelry. I gave away the 4 half price. I gave away the zinger. And then there were like 3 people left that hadn't won something. So I just promised them a piece of jewelry from my treasure chest, which had a value of about $80. And so ultimately I gave away $800 in jewelry. Do you know how much fun that was? Finding out what people wanted, and they were commenting, and everybody was like, how did they get their name in this drawing for this free jewelry? Don't worry about it. I'm going to do another one. You want to be in next month? Yes, I want to be in. So you can see how it's going to keep it going. And you could do one of these every month if you wanted to. And I might try to do that. So, and I always want to do it in the first week or so of the month so that it'll count for RRC and a lot of contests, kind of like your Sparkle Box, And Jill, I have to show you one more thing because I've gotten this question like 6 times. In fact, Lisa Tallarico texted me and said, how do you look so good in your lives? You look like a teenager. And I'm like, what do you mean? What am I doing to look? I do look like a teenager. I just look like that all the time. So Karen, if you are anybody who's worried about going live, here is my tip for you. So I'm going to turn my iPad and try to show you. Okay, this is getting ready to go live. But if you look right here, there's a little wand. And when you click that wand, there's all these little filters. And some of them do crazy things like, let's see if I can get it to show you. No, I'm too close. But it'll put like little hearts all over you or whatever. But there's some that make you look like a Playboy bunny. There's some that really look like sparkles going all around you. And it makes you look good. And you think, but when you show the jewelry, it sends off little lights. But there is one that I like to use every time where you look like yourself. You don't look like cartoon eyes or big lips or whatever. You actually look like yourself, just better. Okay, so it makes in your face a little bit, smooths out, so it looks like you have makeup on. I'm going to send you a picture of which filter that is. It looks like a model, but there's a bunch of them that look like models, and some of them are far too much. But I use some of those filters sometimes when I go into my VIP group, if I want them to pay attention, because they will open up something when you have a crazy tropical hat on. So you just need, it's hilarious. So you need to go on and hit that little wand like you're going live. Before you press the go live button, at the bottom there's a magic wand, and all filters are down there, and hold it up to your face and just see what it does. But I'll send you a picture of my favorite one that I use that they said makes me look like a teenager. And I said, what are you talking about? I use a filter. I look like that all the time. But it really does make me feel more, don't laugh so much, Jill. It really does make me feel more confident about going live or doing something live. I've even done one. There was one that had rollers in her hair and big arched eyebrows. I mean, she looked ridiculous, but people watched that live. you know, it was something quick. So if you need to capture their attention, but when I'm live in a show, I want to look professional, but I'm looking at myself the whole time and nobody's talking back to me. And I'm not cute and darling like Jill is. Okay. So I need something to make me feel better about looking at myself. And I like the way I look better in that filter than I do looking like I do right now talking to you guys. So play with it, figure it out. I'm going to put a picture in the messenger group.
I love it. Well, we'll be a little careful with those filters because when we see each other in person, so we talked about this a little bit last week. When we see each other in person, here's the date. So Jennifer Keller went live in Team Sparkle today, and it is September 17th through the 19th in Frisco, Texas. So that is going to be flying in either into Dallas Love or DFW. And she was seeing tickets from SoCal at like $261 round trip. So my gals who need to fly in, check out those dates. The only caveat, well, it's $200. There's that caveat. You have to be a branch or above. So if you are a fashion director, let's get you to branch, which means you've sponsored one person and that person has qualified. And you have $1,000 in sales. Like that's it, y'all. And you get a 5% permanent raise. So those of you with gals on your team, let's get them to branch. They need to be there. It is going to sell out. We have room for 80. She's already had 26 people respond within 3 hours that they were coming. So I would highly recommend, if you're not a branch, you make plans to be a branch ASAP. I mean, you could sign someone up this weekend and have her launch party with an earring party, right? You could branch up and get to come to Frisco. Y'all, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. It is $200. That's going to include almost all of your food. It will not include your transportation to the hotel. It's the same hotel we stayed at when we did rally at Frisco. So if you went to the Frisco Premier Designs rally, it's that same hotel. They do breakfast for us in the morning. We will have meals together at the hotel because trying to find a restaurant that'll take 80 of us, that just seemed a little excessive. And but you guys, oh my goodness, it is absolutely gonna be fantastic to get together. And then we are on our own for figuring out roommates. So the rooms, I think she said from 159 to 189 or something like that. So you want to spend a little bit on a room, then put 4 of you in a room. If you want a room by yourself, of course, you can do that too. So, oh my goodness. All right, you guys. Well, hey, Dana, Judy had asked a question. How long are your Facebook Lives?
They run about, I'm trying to take these pictures of these crazy filters to show you, but they run about 40 minutes. I try to keep the jewelry showing to 30 minutes, but I'm going to probably talk 5 minutes waiting for everybody to get on. And I'm going to probably go over the specials with my notebook and the picture of the wish list again at the end. So, and I just choose not to count that because I would like to keep them under 30 with all of that, but I'm not real good at because.
Well, hey, Tish Mefford, who if that name doesn't mean something to you yet, it should. Tish Mefford had 74 promotions in March. 74 gals on her team promoted in March. Like, y'all, it is time. It is time to promote. It's time to sponsor. It is time. We've figured out which end is up. It is time to get this bus moving. And a Tish Mefford show is an hour, Dana. So do not feel like, I mean,
I have seen that are an hour. I lose interest by that point. I think an hour is going to, I mean, I'm watching it, trying to learn these fashion tips and I lose interest. So I think, you know, with the retail that I have, if I'm doing it in 40 minutes, you guys could do it in 30 or 40 minutes.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, ladies. All right. So mark your calendars. And then I'm going to let you go here. Next Monday night, the 19th, is branch up training. Huh, how timely. So if you are a fashion director or you ever want to sponsor a fashion director, which is where we all start, you should be at the branch up training. It's going to just talk you through how to help them promote. It's on Team Sparkle as to the times. The last Monday of the month is Team Sparkle training. The big Team Sparkle training, and we're going to have our team after party right after. So we will not have a Wednesday night team Zoom. We'll move it to Monday night for that week. Otherwise, we will have our next team Zoom next Wednesday. Same time, same channel. Yes, Belinda, I see your hand.
One question, when y'all post those Zoom things, can y'all put Central Standard Time for us people who can't remember?
I have very big thumbs, and I'm like, you know what? I am gonna tell them that it is 5:30 Pacific, it is 6:30 Mountain, it is 7:30, and I hit the P again. So I don't know. Anyway,
I have to stop and think who 2 hours ahead of us or whatever. So
it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a big old C there. So that.
Okay.
The dates, Michelle, those dates are on, the Team Sparkle dates are on Jen's big banner. So anytime you're wondering about big Team Sparkle dates, for this, Wednesdays, except the weeks that we have Team Sparkle. Sounds like 2 words. Wednesday.
Exactly.
We are Wednesdays. We are going to be Wednesdays. And that one exception a month where we'll do the after party after training on that Monday night. Team Sparkle Gems. I like it. I think I might like Sparkle. I'm gonna put a poll in our messenger group. I'll put a poll in the messenger group. We can vote on a team name. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's so much fun to spend time with you. Lisa, Belinda, Dana, thank you so much. Like, just the culture that we are bringing with us, and honestly, but that's what I'm seeing with Park Lane too. They're like, here's the information. Here's what my story is. Here's what's making me successful, and I'm seeing that here. And my friend Allison, who has gone into business coaching, she's working with a lot of different girls in a lot of different companies. She's like, Jill, all the firecrackers went to Park Lane. She's like, that company is attracting a different kind of gal. I'm like, well, you know, firecrackers attract firecrackers. So yes, I don't know. The oh my goodness, you guys.
How about that for a team name? How about something with firecracker? Kind of goes with sparkle or sparklers, or I don't know.
Sparklers. Ooh, the sparklers. Yes. The fast lane to sparkle. I like that too. So many ideas. Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. And I will see you next Wednesday, Michelle.
Okay, and Karen,
next week.
The notes for us. And Lisa, don't forget to post the verbiage. And Belinda, if we forget something, you post it.
Y'all are awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Bye. Oh, I gotta end. I'll end recording.